please tell us about that. You are joining training program with Kumiko and Five Light Center, and looking forward and inviting, and
Yes.
stuff like that.
Okay. Well, I'm very excited to be teaching for Five Light Center. Kumiko and I have been hoping to do this for a long time. I love teaching. I've been teaching now 34 years at Bancroft. And I still enjoy every day that I get to be with the students. So I look forward to training more Shiatsu practitioners. I think the world needs us. Yeah.
Okay, hold on. A little more of screen.
That way?
Yes, yes. And it's like a 30-second introduction.
Yep.
And so you can say, hi, my name is, I'm a specialist. This is my credentials.
Okay.
And I invite you for, I'm joining Five Light Setter certification training program, and I will be teaching in May 26th, 28th. You don't need to say that. We will have another
We have a
rehearsal.
class in May. Oh,
Yes.
we're starting.
Don't
What?
say
Sorry?
not to say the dates because
No dates. No dates.
Won't say May. Okay. Yeah, no.
But
use the
yes.
video again. Yeah. Okay, so the
And that you can sign up for my classes.
Yeah.
okay, so the Wendy specialty is you're gonna be teaching to the massage therapist to enhance their professional skills by learning Shiatsu, because Shiatsu can help body mechanics, how to place your body from the center core of Hara. And then that's the massage therapist can have a long span of professional care.
Okay.
Yeah, and then 20 hours of CEU credits for the massage therapist approved by NCBTA. Please join, something like that. So yeah. Okay.
Okay. I'm very happy to be working with Five Light Center to present a course for massage therapists who want to enhance their skills so they can have a long career and many clients. I've been very busy for a long time and supported my family and myself and enjoyed every minute of it. So I absolutely love my work with my clients and with my students. And I know we need more Shiatsu therapists in the world and teachers. So I want to help you to grow your practice and incorporate Shiatsu into your practice. We'll have 20 CEUs for our course that you can sign up for. Please sign up and we can work together. Anything else?
And you might also like to put a little, I don't know, there's something different. We can see the top of the fabric, but now your head is cut. But okay, maybe.
Oh, maybe I move back a little bit.
Yeah. Okay, perfect.
Better?
Yes.
Yeah. Very beautiful. Okay.
Maybe that we can get rid of that that orange thing. Right? Yes. Okay. Yep.
Okay. So me as a yoga teacher, a yoga practitioner, I feel very fortunate to have studied Shiatsu because there's so many beneficial stretches. There's so many concepts with relation to the meridians that you can apply to a yoga class. You know, even just learning the concepts of the 5 elements from Shiatsu. If you're teaching a class and you're in spring season or winter season, you might want to focus specifically on those meridians as you're sequencing your yoga class. So in that sense, it's really, really beneficial. A lot of yoga teachers also have a deeper understanding of the chakras and the energetic channels in the body. So understanding the meridians is just a different way of approaching to find out where energy is blocked and possibly why those energetic channels are blocked. And then by applying this knowledge and awareness, it's not necessarily that you're going to go and diagnose your yoga students, but you can definitely create a class that gears to what is beneficial for them based on the time of year or based off of their physical body. And then along with that, you can have a deeper understanding just in general of energy and how to provide a class that helps move blocked energy. So I think it's definitely beneficial for yoga teachers and yoga practitioners to practice this. And after a yoga class, it would be so nice if you could go and do Shiatsu on one of your fellow classmates or one of your friends who you practice with. You leave feeling great. So why not have a deeper understanding of such a beautiful practice? Of the meridians, when we're cueing postures in a yoga class, as we're cueing those postures, not only can we apply stretches that are very similar to Shiatsu specifically, but we can also apply the knowledge of the meridians to the posture that we're doing. So for instance, as we're moving our arms, we can explain to people that as we expand our arms upwards, we're also opening up the lung meridian, or, you know what I mean? As we're opening up our thighs out to the sides, we're also opening up the energy channel of our liver. And these energy channels are not just related to the physical function of the organs, but they're also related to emotional blockages that a lot of people nowadays have.
So could you give us some examples of your students or clients when you taught the class? What did they say? How did they feel combining Shiatsu knowledge to the yoga practice?
So a lot of times when I'm teaching yoga classes, I usually stick to teaching the posture in Sanskrit and saying the posture in English. And I might give a very brief description of what's going to happen energetically. But I don't necessarily have a specific recipe, because sometimes I will come from an Ayurvedic background and sometimes I will come from a Shiatsu background. Because both are so complementary, I tend to shift back and forth.
Okay, so
Sorry, I wish I prepared for this too, because I'm kind of just thinking on the top of my head.
that's okay. We all are learning, and
Sometimes I will say in Shiatsu, we have stretches that are specific to the meridians. And sometimes in a yoga class, it's really nice to apply those stretches that are very similar to yogic postures as a way to sort of warm the body up. So that's also a really beneficial tool for students.
so who we want to attract the most? Do we want to attract Kumiko because Wendy will do for?
I think the best way for me to invite someone to take a Shiatsu class would be to share with them the benefits of this practice, to share with them how ancient this practice is. You know,
sorry, Amber, I'm the one that does not.
So everyone is the type of person that might have physical frustrations, fatigue in the body, or even goals to change their physical body or their mental wellness, their emotional wellness. And this ancient knowledge of Shiatsu that comes from traditional Chinese medicine provides knowledge and information on the energy channels in the human body. And that's why it's so beneficial for people to learn, because it not only helps them understand themselves from a compassionate perspective, it helps them understand everyone around them. You know, too often we'll look at someone's body and we'll just assume that they're not able to get into this pose. Like a lot of yoga practitioners, they want to get into the most amazing version of the posture, the most advanced version of the posture. And the reality is not everyone's body might be able to do that. But maybe there's a way we can unblock those energy channels so that we can slowly get to that. So we can grow our practice. And that's why I find Shiatsu so beneficial, because maybe people who would be intimidated to do certain things can start to learn how to unlock energy channels in their body so that their yoga practice can deepen.
At the 5 Lights and on Zoom. And what will it be about? What is it?
So I welcome you to join me with the 5 Light. Can we just 1 second? It's called 5 Lights Center.
Yeah, 5 Lights Center. That'll be
Okay.
fine. Yeah.
Okay. So I welcome you to join me at the 5 Lights Center. We can meet in the comfort of your own home on Zoom, and we will explore the 5 elements, the 12 major meridian lines, Shiatsu stretches, Shiatsu history, and we'll be able to learn how to give such a blissful treatment to other people and have a deeper understanding of yourself, of your physical body, your mental body, your emotional body, and how it all can be in harmony.
A private version, and maybe we'll use in future. So so it's nice to see. What were you saying?
Sorry?
You were saying that it's nice to see people that are stretching.
So when I took Shiatsu myself, I always appreciated the fact that everyone in the class was from a different background. Not everyone was very flexible. Not everyone was definitely not everyone was a yoga practitioner. So everyone's body moved differently. Everyone's emotional wellness was obviously different, but we all left the class feeling wonderful, because once you start having that treatment and learning how to give this treatment, which is also the fact that people are fully clothed, you know, it's not an invasive type of treatment. It's just a treatment to restore harmony and balance. You can't leave feeling anything less than great. You always will leave feeling good. And because the treatment is geared at treating whatever is imbalance, whatever is out of balance for you, even better.
Okay.
That's so true. Right.
And that to me is so nice. When you're really learning how to do it effectively, you're also receiving as you're giving.
Right. Also, we have to listen how much is enough, how much can I go, how much can I be, still, stay. Those everything comes up. It's part of meditation practice. It doesn't distract yourself or your friends or your partner. It's all creates a beautiful harmony within.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's definitely a beautiful way to connect with another person energetically and to learn to listen.
Yes.
And that's something I think is great.
Yes. Yeah. The more we listen, the more the peace we can create.
Definitely.
It's just talking, and we don't know what to do, but to make out of it. So it's nice.
Yeah.
That practice can really go deeper into yourself, understanding yourself and others, and it's such a beautiful practice.
Yeah.
I'm so grateful you had such a good experience at the Institute.
Oh, I had such a wonderful experience. I loved all of it.
Right.
Because
when we met, I didn't know you're having such a joy.
Oh yeah. Well, the thing is also with me, when I took the classes, because Shiatsu, some of the theories in Shiatsu are very similar to Ayurveda, but they're also very different. You know, the way Shiatsu addresses the 5 elements is actually different than how it's done in Ayurveda. So for me, I had to really sit and absorb all this information and make sure that I could understand how both are the same, and also and respect that both are also different. And so I repeated classes just because I wanted to get a full absorption of the information.
So what did you find? What's the big difference?
So in Ayurveda, we have mind, body, spirit wellness. And in Shiatsu, we don't always talk about the spiritual element of wellness. It's not something that's common in traditional Chinese medicine. And then also we have the metal element in Shiatsu, whereas in Ayurveda, we would refer to ether, air, water, earth, and fire. And so in Shiatsu, we have, instead of earth and water, we would refer to the wood element. So certain things are very similar, and then certain things are slightly different. But the fundamental goal of establishing balance is in both practices. And that's something amazing, because I feel like the Western approach to wellness is always treating the symptom instead of sort of treating the whole system and finding balance with the whole system, which from my experience, yoga and Shiatsu both try to treat the whole system and restore balance.
So for your dad, what did you do most to help him?
So for my dad, he had a brain injury and he couldn't talk or walk or move. And the location of the blood on his brain was on his logic and reasoning side. So the other side of his brain that was okay was his artistic side. The right side is the creative and artistic side. So me being a musician, I started to sing. And before then, he was not speaking. So I sang a song in his traditional mother tongue, which is Malayalam. It's a South Indian dialect. And he sang word for word every part of that song for hours. It became like a concert. And up until that point, the doctors had told me he may never talk again. He may never function normally. And this was a spiritual song. So there was also something very deeply into his spiritual faith that was connected to those words. So he started to sing those words. As he would lay there, I'm also a certified hypnotist. So I would use hypnotic commands to speak to his subconscious mind. One of them in particular, I would say, was every day in every way, you're getting better and better. Every day in every way, you're getting better and better. And when he started to talk and the doctors started to ask him, how are you feeling? He would say, I'm getting better. And I know that it was because I sort of put that thought into his mind. Initially, the doctors usually will say that they have certain questions they ask people who have a brain injury. What is your name? Lift your hands, lift your legs. What is the date? And where are you? But because of the location of the blood that was on the brain, he was not aware of English anymore. So he reverted back to his mother tongue. So when the doctors would ask him to raise his hands, he would just look completely confused, like he had no idea what was being said. And so I would say it in his language, and immediately his arms would go up or he would lift his leg because it was a language he understood. Then I think also just being there. Sometimes when a person has a brain injury, we immediately assume because they can't articulate themselves that they're not there anymore. And sometimes that's the case, sadly, but sometimes it's not. And sometimes by just being there and giving the person energy, giving the person feedback, it helps. So I would show him videos to make him recognize familiar faces. I would have relatives to video chat with him. And a lot of times he would just look at the screen and he didn't necessarily know how to say their name, but he recognized the face. So it's almost like rewiring the brain with the different connections, like it's like how our computer, we have to update the software. It was like a software update for my dad. It was a long journey, but now he's doing great.
So the doctor surprised how quickly he recovered?
The doctors were very surprised because according to medical science, it was not what they ever expected. It was definitely a miracle. There was a lot of people praying from all over the world. I was definitely strict with him and very diligent in, making him identify things. And I would identify things, like hold things up and say, do you know what this is? I would force him to walk. At first, he did not want to walk because when a person's been laying for so long, even just the connection of the brain to the muscles in the legs, it's not necessarily there. And the muscles also atrophy. So it's a lot harder to get the person to walk. But myself and some of our family friends and relatives also helped in forcing him to walk. And now he walks every day. He competes with me, who can walk longer.
That's great.
Oh yeah. He's also very disciplined and very disciplined, and like, I want to say OCD in the sense that he likes things done a certain way. And a lot of times they say people who are of that mentality, they get better quicker because they're more determined. So he's definitely a determined person too.
Did he change his diet?
Yes. So since I've been home, I changed his diet completely. And it was hard to do, but I did it. So he eats mostly vegetarian. On occasion, I do make him fish, sometimes chicken, but very rarely because I'm vegetarian. So to transition him over, it took some time, but he lost 20 pounds. He has amazing blood work. Compared to people, he turns 80 this year. Compared to majority of his friends, he's doing amazing. So, and that to me has a lot to do with diet. And even he will acknowledge that it has a lot to do with diet. So many things in our lives can be avoided by healthy dietary habits.
Right.
So yeah, the diet is definitely, but I'm not too strict with him because he likes sweets and like treats every once in a while, so I can't be too strict.
Yes, he needs to have fun, good time.
Yeah, like if I feel like if I'm too strict, because you still have to be happy with what you're eating. If you're eating healthy food and you hate it, it's really gonna have no benefit. So.
And does he meditate?
He prays. So my dad, and prayer is definitely a form of meditation. So he prays. We go on, so I went to the Zendo, and in Zendo we do walking meditation, and him and I will go for long walks, usually about 40 minutes, and we pray together while we walk. So it's like a walking meditation. Yeah.
Very nice.
He definitely has a strong faith. And actually, when I did the singing bowls on the Shiatsu gathering, I sang the same song I sang to him when he was in the hospital, because it's a Christian song and it was Easter. So I sang that, and that's the song that I sang to him to get him to talk again.
That was beautiful.
Yeah. It's a very old and beautiful song.
Nice.
Yeah, because with me also health-wise, in Ayurveda and Shiatsu, there's so many ways to treat the body for sicknesses. But when he had a brain injury, nothing I knew was related to this. Like there's no yoga posture to get someone who has a brain injury to get better, So it was more just giving him because he was already sleeping. So it was easy for him to do a guided meditation as I'm whispering in his ear and just giving good energy, motivating him. So, yeah, it's, to me, in all my experiences of teaching all over the world, this has been the most monumental because it also challenged me to, maintain a sense of peace and not give in to the worry, not give in to the stress, which was obviously right in front of me, but also just to center myself in order for me to provide for him.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Yeah. And even just to witness someone when everyone is saying that, oh, he's going to stay like that, because he was having seizures, and then his age, so many factors to make it seem as though he may not get better. And then the fact that it took him 2.5 months to truly start to talk. Initially, he only said the word yup. So any question the doctor would say, he would say yup. Or he would say my name. Like, he could clearly say my name. And this I didn't expect either, because I'm the youngest, I'm the daughter, I'm the one who's traveling all over the place. I thought if he was going to say anything, I didn't expect it to be my name. But it made me reassured that if he's saying my name, there's somebody inside there.
Right.
Like, there's some awareness in there. So it was amazing for me to witness that.
It's so nice. I'm so happy for you, Hyaka.
Thank you. I'm very grateful.
Yeah, nice.
So will he restore fully his abilities? How would you, how many percentage, like 80% or 60, 70%?
So I would say 100% according to the doctor, by the look of his scan, when he was released from the rehab facility, he appeared to have no damage done to his brain and no signs of any kind of traumatic injury to the brain. He speaks, he makes jokes faster than anyone. He knows how to charm people with his conversation. He walks with great balance. Like, I lose balance easier than he loses balance. The only thing that is different, my dad's brain is very much like a computer. So he's really, really, really great at mathematics. And if someone was to give a long equation to a person with a calculator, my dad could do that in his head, because the way they used to learn mathematics, it was taught in such a way that people could do it in their head, and he was excellent at it. So now he can still do it, but not at the speed that he used to do it. So that's something he's working on. And sometimes when he's talking, so see how I just said, and I had to think, right? Sometimes he does that. But I think if I do that at my age and he's turning 80 and he's just now starting to do that, it's okay. It's not that big of a deal. I'd say it's normal. Yeah, he's amazing. He's a walking, living testimony that faith can truly move mountains.
What's his name?
My dad's name is George.
George. So we can meet George when we.
Yes, you can meet George.
Yeah, it's nice. Nice. Very
I will
nice.
see. I will see. He's a little reluctant because he's not so fond to be on camera, but I think he will be okay.
Yeah. Okay. You can give him a scarf if he's shy.
Yeah.
Did you have a chance to do some acupressure to him?
For my dad, when he was in
yeah.
hospital?
Yeah.
No, I didn't do any acupressure. I didn't want to do anything physically energetic to him, just because the way the injury was, there was blood around his brain, right? And he had multiple seizures. So since it took weeks for him to truly start to talk and have like regular conversations, I didn't want to put pressure or add stimulation in a way that could have done something different. Because like I said, this is something new for me too. I've never encountered someone with a brain injury or anything. And according to the doctors, they all said that, he might stay in that sort of state. There's no definite, because everyone heals from a brain injury different. Some people don't necessarily fully recover. And they weren't saying anything negative to me. They were just saying that the reality, there's no way to predict with a brain injury. So because of that, I more relied on my hypnosis training to give positive commands to his subconscious mind, like a guided meditation. I taught him a breathing exercise when he was in the hospital, because I saw that he's not a person who likes to be in hospital at all. So I could see that he was frustrated. So I taught him to breathe deeper, specifically alternate nostril breathing, just once or twice, just to get him to sort of feel a little bit more at ease. But I don't think I did any like acupressure points with him when he was in the hospital.
But
So
that's a good point, not to overstimulate the brain with touch, with senses.
Yeah, I mean, because the
That's
thing
right.
is also, it's not like a client, it's my dad. You know, and I'm seeing my dad in this state that I've never seen him before. I wanted to be really careful with what I do. And I was so lucky. We have a family friend who they're both very successful brain surgeons in another province. And they gave me ideas they're the ones who gave me ideas of how to, you know, stimulate him. And at first I was even concerned that he was sleeping for so long. And they said, that's good, that the body heals when it's sleeping. I had to be reminded that, you know, the body heals when it's sleeping. So I had a whole group of people that was very supportive. And even just my family through video chat, like a lot of times with brain injuries, if a person is just in a hospital room and they're just staring at the same four walls, there's really no stimulation. But if the person starts to see familiar faces, even if they can't necessarily talk back, their brain is still seeing the person. And there's going to be a reconnection in the brain like that. And I watched how that started to happen with him. It was really amazing.
Mm-hmm. So how did this happen? Where he was when this
So
happened?
he was here in my house and he fell. He apparently hit his head on the edge of the counter.
Oh, I
And
see.
so it doesn't even have to be that someone is doing something incredibly acrobatic. It could be something just as simple as slipping in your own house, which it's not common. Like I've never seen him fall. Just so happened that he fell and he hit his head on the edge of the counter, but he's on blood thinner medication. So because he's on blood thinner, anytime if a person hits their head, there is a chance of blood leaking in the brain or outside the brain, which is a danger. And so that's what happened. And again, by a miracle, there was a group of nuns who were visiting and they were doing missionary work in Canada. And my dad allowed them to stay in our home. And because they were in our home when he fell, he seemed okay for a day or two and he was socializing like he always does. But then there was one day where he was not responding and he was in his room, and the nuns immediately called my brother and let them know what was happening. Had those nuns not been here, my dad could have just slept his way into the next life and not been here today. So it was kind of amazing. And at that time, I was not even in the country. I was teaching in Spain. So for him to have had people here while I was away, to me, it's amazing.
Yes. Nice.
And I think also yoga with me, like he's seen me teach before and watched me when I've taught in different events, but I'm also his daughter. So it's kind of, it's different.
Yeah. Good. So he's taking care of his himself, his body, eating better, changing.
He eats really well. I make most of his meals and I make him to drink juice. We drink fresh juice every day with different vegetables and fruits. But yeah, and he's also a lot more responsible in choosing to eat certain things. Like for example, things like walnuts and avocado are really good for the brain. So he'll make sure that he'll have at least 1 or 2 pieces of walnut a day. And every once in a while we'll have avocado, different things just to keep his health good.
Mm.
And we don't know how long we're going to be in this physical body, but if we take steps to be healthy, you know, by exercising and eating healthy, it makes our journey that much more enjoyable.
Definitely.
It's definitely open to that.
That's great. All right. Eva, do you have any questions? Are you okay? Or... Yeah. So, Ambria, I'm so excited to have you as the Five Lights Shiatsu associate in Canada.
I'm looking forward to being part of this team. I think it's going to be beautiful.
Definitely. Shiatsu is part of my life and part of your life. And we met, I don't remember how many years ago, but
7 years ago.
we are on our journey, and now we are coming back together and spread the Shiatsu message, which is love, peace, happiness to all. And I'm so grateful you joined our force, one light, one planet, one heart. We are together. We are creating the peace movement within and society. And let's have a lot of people to join us, spread the message.
Yes. Yes, I think it's going to be beautiful. I think people are going to expand their love for both yoga and shiatsu and find more peace in their life for sure.
Yes. All right. See you soon.
See you soon.
Thank you.